everybody, this is Lindsay Smith and I am going to go over my new action set, and as of right now they are going to be half off for this week only since it's their release date, so jump on them. So real quick, we're going to run through. I'll show you how to load them in. Make sure your actions tab is open. I've already got mine loaded in here, so I'm just going to delete them real quick. Load actions. Okay, so here we have a bunch of actions. I think there's like 37 altogether. So, if you need info, here's some info. If you have any issues, you can submit a ticket to support@lsphotoshopactions.com. If you need video tutorials or product updates, you can check out my website and see what that's about. So I'm going to click continue. Now, if your image is underexposed, you can click this and it will expose your image, but my image was fine. So let me see here. Let me see if I have Chloe. Let's just underexpose this here. Let me see if I can find an image, because the contrast is just a little bit crazy. We'll just go ahead and we'll lower the exposure, just to give you an idea. So it just brings your image right back up if you have underexposed your image. Now, let's say you're overexposed. This will put the darkness back into your image. Okay. Do you have grain? This will reduce your noise in your image. And this one may take a minute, depending on the size of your image. I'm on my laptop, so it is going to take my computer just a second. Now, it did make the image soft, so with a soft black brush, we want to paint it off of our details in the picture. So my brush is set to about 60%. Just taking it off her eyes, her nose. Because she's feeling a little painterly right now. Oops. Okay. And then say we want to fix our tones. This automatically does it. So you can see where it was blue before, and it fixed it to what it should look like, more of its natural tones, more like white balance. And then say we wanted to fix something. Use your lasso tool or rectangular marquee tool, select an area, and then continue playing the action. So we want to stop. We're going to select our lasso. And let's just get rid of this stick here. Sorry, make sure your background is selected. Click it again. try this one more time. There we go. It wasn't wanting to do, so try flattening your image or getting rid of the distractions beforehand. Makes it super quick and cleans up your work. Okay, and one last thing. While I'm seeing it, I just see everything. Okay, so now that we've fixed our grain, we've fixed out any imperfections that might have caught our eye, we fixed our exposure, we fixed our white balance of the image. What do we need? We need to sharpen now. And you want to set it to where it doesn't look like a rainbow. See how this looks more like the image? You don't want that much, so I'll set it back to about 6. And then with a soft white brush, you will go in and paint on the areas that you want to have the detail. Yes, my children are watching Madagascar. Alright, so super quick and easy. And now I'm going to go ahead and flatten my image because now we are getting into the retouching of the image. Luckily, she doesn't need much. So we have frequency separation. You're going to select the blur radius for the skin. I'm going to choose 5. And then it says on the LF layer, use your lasso tool to trace areas of skin. Then click filter and then blur and Gaussian blur and repeat as many times as needed. On the HF layer, you can use the clone stamp to get rid of any blemishes, wrinkles, age spots, anything that your client may feel uncomfortable about or that is just kind of bugging you and you feel like you need to tweak it. So, I'll just show you real quick. But her skin is already pretty smooth. Now if you don't want, you see where my blur is very apparent. I'm going to take a couple of steps back. You want to turn your feather up here in your lasso tool up, so I'm going to turn it to about 2 pixels. Or you can make your blur a little more natural so it doesn't, whereas I set mine at a 5, which was really soft on her. You can make it to whatever you want it to. Make sure your LF layer is selected. Okay. You can see where that has softened her skin. And then I'll show you over here with the clone tool. She doesn't really have anything, so I'm just going to take a sample. I'm going to turn my clone stamp back up to 100. I'm going to just sample over here and take out these under nose wrinkles so you can see, but we're not going to do that. Just so you can see what this does. So now she has no nose. So I'm going to take a couple of steps back. But I'm going to delete this altogether because she didn't need any retouching. So then, after you have your frequency separation, there is something for you to do for her foundation. Double click this box and you'll just pick an in-between tone that's neither dark nor light on her. Click this black, and then you are going to go in with a soft white brush, and we are going to paint it on her skin. And it's just a simple foundation. Okay, but she doesn't need it, so deleting. And then the redness. Here is a redness be gone. Not sure why it did that. I will have to fix that one before I put that one out. So that will be fixed before it goes onto the site, but it will reduce the redness in the image. Luckily, I'm testing these out right here. Okay, so this is for the highlighting and the contouring. So with your lasso tool, you're going to select over her skin, lips, wherever anything would naturally be highlighted. So I'm going to click stop. I'm going to select my lasso. I'm going to select her T-zones. Anywhere where light would hit. Forgot to hold control. It's Alt. Never mind, it's Shift. Sorry. Mom brain today. Okay, so T-zones are selected. We're going to click it again, continue. We're going to feather this out a little bit to about there. And now she has highlight and definition in her face. So now I'm going to flatten and we're going to do contour, which is the same thing. So stop. We're going to select the areas that shadow would normally hit. And now she is shadowed, and those are a little bit more intense, so we can turn those down. Okay, so now we have Peachy Keen. Which, if you hold Control I and invert it, it warms up your image. Or if you leave it to the black mask that it was on, you can paint it on wherever you want to warm the image up at. Tan Up is if you want to tan her skin. So with a soft white brush, you can tan her up. And we're just doing this roughly just to show you. So tan up. Gonna turn that down just a bit more because I do like it. Okay, and then rosy cheeks, which she doesn't need, but we'll test it out. Okay, and then image boost. Now it is set to 75%. You can change your opacity to your liking. I think there looks about good. Pop of color. This is for you to paint on wherever you would like a splash more of color. then I'm going to flatten, and I am going to come down to my snapshot action because I want to take a picture before I get into the creative tones. So snapshot, and what it did is it created a picture here for you if you do not like the creative tones. So now we are going to click on All Red. We are going to click on Cinematic Blue, Divine Gold, Magenta'd Out, Nightfall, Simple Matte, Dramatic Matte. So let me delete those real quick. I liked Divine Gold. I thought that was really pretty, and we'll turn that down to about 30. Oops, not on that one. 60, 45, I think is about right. That looks really good. Okay, and then so I'm going to flatten. And then for light effects, we have Golden Hour. I clicked that again, sorry. Blues. Beach Fun. And you can paint this off of her if it's too strong. Let me go at 30%. And that's really fun. Cold Waters. Autumn Fires, which again is really pretty. And Great Ball of Fire. Oops. Which I'm stuck between Beach Fun and Great Ball of Fire. See, there's just so many different looks you can create. I think I'm going to go with Beach Fun, but maybe turn it down a little bit. Okay, so I am going to snapshot again, flatten. These work on darker images. I noted that, or moodier images. Dusk Till Dawn. Buttermilk Flower. And these can be turned down and painted off. %. Take some of that yellow. And let's see, Golden Sunset. Okay, and then white balance helper. Wherever it is black, if you pull up your curves and you click this gray one, wherever it is black, I'm going to create a new layer. Okay. Now this is just a tool to help you. It is not an action. So like her dress here. So now I'm going to shut off. Where is it? Going to select her dress. And it will normally fix your white balance. So going to delete that layer. And then, so I haven't decided what I liked best. This was Golden Sunset, which wasn't much of a difference, just kind of gave it a contrast because I turned the opacity down. I did like the buttermilk flower. I think that is going to be the finisher for me. I may go back up and add, let me flatten. I may go back up and add a matte action. Simple, dramatic. Turn it down to 25 and then with a soft black brush and my opacity set to 90, I'm just going to paint it off of her and the sidewalk. And I think that looks pretty good. So again, these actions are going to be half off for this first week. It is just creative actions to help you get your editing workflow done quicker. The opacities can all be played with. There are layers within one another that can be played with to your liking. And it's a really great tool to have to really speed up your workflow. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I'm happy to answer anything that you might have.